Okay, so we're going to make the, we can make the grip next. That's fine. We could also make the crossguard or the pommel. This is called a pommel if you didn't know. And then this looks like it might spiral. We're not going to make it spiral. I don't know if it does or not, but we're not going to make it spiral. This crossguard is going to be super easy. This pommel is going to be super easy. This is only going to be the only part with any kind of difficulty to it. So let's make a cube. We'll just make that crossguard really quickly here. Shouldn't be too difficult. Zoom in on it. I'm just going to make the height smaller, so height of 0.7. That was way off. 0.3. That's better. And maybe a 3.35. 3.5. And then the width is going to be 3. Seems about right. And we definitely need at least one division on this. It looks like there's a division on the Z, or sorry, the X, so 2. And then we're going to need more, but at least we'll get these in there. And then this is not that thick. It's nowhere near that thick. I'm just going to grab the depth and then middle click and drag. Make it wider than the blade, but it doesn't need to be very much wider than the blade. That's probably good enough. And then I will take these, go to vertex here, and grab each vertex on the ends. Just click and drag over one, hold shift, click and drag over the other, and then drag them down. And then we'll scale them. And we'll scale them in. If it's uneven like this, where it's not quite matching up, just choose one side and match it to only one of the sides. Don't try to match it to both. Okay, cool. So there's that, and we will then go like this. Make it even narrower. It's pretty narrow there. Okay, then we can add in edge loops and make this fit the shape that we see in the image. So if we take our multi-cut tool, we can hold shift and control, and we can snap. So it looks like we're snapping at 10 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So click there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click there. And then we'll just take these vertices here, go to vertex. Grab all of them by clicking and dragging, then holding shift and clicking and dragging over the other. And then you can get both of them. And you got that. And then we will take this. I'm not going to want to go, I'll go here and down here. And then I will round this a little bit. And I'm going to get into the center here, and here, and here. And you can just do one side and mirror it over if you wanted to. That's fine. It's not gonna be a problem if you do that. You need to do both at the same time though, instead of just doing one at a time. So grab both of them, and then we'll get them rounded in there. There you go. Then press 3, and you can see what the shape looks like. The shape is looking pretty good. It needs to be hardened on the edges. So to do that, we'll have to add in control edges. We'll grab the multi-cut tool. This, I don't think is going to work that well. It's alright. I'm going to undo that. We're going to use the insert edge loop tool. Go to your mesh tools and go to insert edge loop tool. And then I'm going to do equal distance, I believe is what I want there. And that makes it a little bit better. Why did that do weird stuff? Okay, let's leave it at relative distance and see if that works. No, relative distance. Yeah, that works. It works better with this tool. The advantages of using the insert edge loop tool over the multi-cut tool. There are certainly advantages to using it. Looks like this is a little bit sharper than what I have in here. Not much. But we'll go to the mesh tools and we'll grab the offset edge loop tool. And then, yeah, that's okay, I think. It doesn't really have that. There's a bit of a ridge here. So ideally, you would want to slide this out. Slide that out and get rid of that ridge if we could. There we go. But that's it. We did that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the grip. Grip is the harder one. To make the grip, I'm going to make a cylinder because this is a cylindrical shape. And I'm going to, of course, adjust the radius to, say, 0.7 or something. Narrow that, 0.5. Okay, there we go. We don't need to have this many divisions around. 20, we don't need that many. We'll go 12. That's a lot easier to work with. The height is going to be 3. That's about right. 3.2 maybe. There we go. It's pretty good. And then we'll have to add divisions. The radius is, it's maybe a little bit, no, I think it's okay. 0.52 maybe. Yeah, we'll leave it at 0.5. We need to have a lot of divisions up to this thing here. So we need to do subdivisions on height and middle click and drag. We need a lot of divisions. We need, for each one of these ridges, we need 4 divisions. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 13 times 4 is 50 something, right? Yeah, it's like 52, I think. So we have 37 here. Yeah, okay, so that's not going to help us that much. Let me undo that real quick. I'm going to do just 2 because I want to get this. No, we'll do 5. So I want to get this shape, the general shape, and then we'll add in those ridges later because I think that's going to be the easier way of doing it. So I'm going to bring this in, bring this in, bring this in, bring that in. Okay, so that's that general shape. And then I can do some quick math here. Just to double check it. 1, 3 times 4, 52. Okay, and so we would need 52, or 10 times what we have here. And I'm going to scale this, the whole thing, narrower, so it fits in here. And I'm guessing it gets wider in the middle this way too. So if we go to face here, just scale that this way. Go to verse here, scale that this way. And I'm not worried if they match up perfectly because I don't think they match up perfectly in the photograph. I really don't think that they do. As you can see, it's like all messed up here near the pommel. So I would need to add in a lot of, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's not going to be enough. Go to my mesh tools and we'll add in with the insert edge loop tool. I'm going to double click it and I'm going to go, we'll just do multiple. If I do, I'm not going to be able to do that. We'll just do 6 right now. So I'll go 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. And then on this last one, I'm going to do 7 and then 7. And I think that'll be enough. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to take the edges. I'm going to skip 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And I'm just holding shift and double clicking. 1, 2, shift, double click, shift, double click. The first one I did not have to hold shift for. I just double clicked it. And then this one doesn't. So I did mess up the counting, but that's okay. We can just make that wider, and then I'm going to scale it out. When I press 3, that's what I end up with. It's not terribly good. Let's see here if we can make it sharper. The way to make it sharper is to add in edge loops. If we go into my mesh tools and we go to the offset edge loop tool, on each one of these we can make it sharper. I'm just going to press 1 so I don't get confused on this. This might not be the best way to do this. Or just click on that edge. So you're just clicking on this edge here. You're dragging back and forth to get the closeness on it. All right. Yeah, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. Or not as good as I thought it would. Let's go to faces and we'll just grab the faces. There we go. Now we're getting some ridges in there. There we go. And we can make them sharper because these are pretty sharp. If you wanted to make them sharper, if you wanted to do that, you don't have to. But let's say you have some extra time. You have to do them one at a time. You have to bring them out like this. Each one of them has to be just scaled out like that. You can center this more if you want to. It got moved a little bit. We can have that wider. So on and so forth. You would do the whole thing that way. These ones on the end, I am going to just adjust them because I don't like how they turned out. Not sure what's going on with this one. Oh, I see. I grabbed the wrong two. Okay. Let me go back here. And when we get more towards the center, I think it looks better. So there we go. We got that shape in there. And it's rigid on the ends, but not anywhere else. And it looks a little bit weird because of how wide these are down here. Just going to scale these in a little bit. So it does have that taper on it. Let's make it wider this way. I get really meticulous in my work. So, okay. Pommel's going to be super easy. So if you're like, oh, get to the pommel, it's going to be so hard. First, I'm going to take out these faces in the middle because we don't need them. They're just taking up space, so just delete them. I went to the top view, marquee selected over them, and then deleted them. And then double check this down here to make sure that it does touch the crossguard. I want to do both ends at the same time. Maybe this one here, this one here. And it looks like it's a little bit wider than I have it. If we go to object mode, it does actually kind of spill over that crossguard a little bit. It'll be a little bit easier to hold on to if the more circular it is, to a degree. And then we can make that pommel. The pommel is super easy. All we need is a cylinder. We'll move this up. I'll rotate it over. Just you can hold J and do that, or you can just go 90. And either way. And then let's come into here. I just want to see. Okay. Radius wise, it's going to need to be smaller. It looks like a 0.5 will work. Nope, a 0.65. Okay, we don't need 20. We can do 12. It's fine. 10 is probably fine. I wouldn't go to 8 because I've noticed some distortions with the newer versions of Maya. We'll do 0.5 here. I don't know if that's going to be correct, but we can check it. It's a bit thick, maybe 0.4. And then we want to do the subdivisions on the caps. We'll do 3. And the reason we're doing 3 is so we can make this shape here. So I'm going to marquee select over, and I'm going to have both of those sides selected. I'm going to press R, and I'll scale this out. And you might be thinking, all right, we're good. We did it. Well, we still have to make it sharp in some areas and not so sharp in other areas. To make it sharp here, I'm going to press R, which I already have. I'm going to hold Shift And I'm going to click and drag on this green guy right here. And it might not be green on your end. Oh, I can't do that. I have to do it this way. I can't do that either. I'm going to have to extrude it. So click on extrude, and then I'm going to have to bring in the offset. See, offset's going to come in 0.01. Object mode and press 3, and you can see that that's sharp there, just like it is in the image. But we have to get these other ones sharp. These ones here. We can bevel those. So click on your bevel, and then change your fraction, in my case, to a 0.3. And then turn off chamfer. Oh, went the wrong way. You pretty much got it. I mean, it might need to be arranged around this thing a little bit better. But it's pretty much there. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll take this end here, both these ends, kind of move them up. I got something offset. I don't know what, but something's offset. So there. Let me go back here. Turn on my grid. This is offset. There we go. We can check the whole thing. We don't probably need to, but we're going to go to face mode. Go right click, go face. Select this little icon right here below the mesh menu, and then go to select use constraints. All on next and sided, we have none. Close and reset. And you are good to go. When you've done this much, you can turn this in, and then you will have completed the midterm. I'm going to add in more detail here because I can. I will do it with face. There we go. All right, so let me save that out file. 16 as. And it's going to be called styles underscore dean underscore midterm or dagger. Either one is acceptable. And then you can put a number on it if you've been saving versions of it. That'll be fine too. All right, so I will see you in class.